Bismillah,
Bismillah.
alhamdulillah, wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah. So we are doing the Fiqh of Zakat. Alhamdulillah, we have finished 3 days and we have covered quite a few topics. So we still continue to cover more topics. There are quite a lot of topics still remaining, but I think we have covered quite a lot of things that are important to the community. So today is day 4, and today we are going to talk about Zakat on retirement account. Zakat on retirement account. So the rules and regulations on retirement accounts vary by country and also by account type that we all know. It all depends on which country this retirement account is in, and also the account type. There are a few types that I have listed here that retirement accounts in the United States, and some of them there is zakat, or most of them there is zakat due on them. To name a few, and most popular ones are Roth IRA, traditional IRA, 401k. As for Roth IRA, this is self-sponsored program, and there is no penalty and no tax if we withdraw money from it of the principal. Even if we are withdrawing before the age of 59 and a half, which is the retirement age, if we withdraw the principal, there is no tax, there is no penalty. That is because Roth IRA, by very nature, the contribution to it is post-tax. Post-tax. Income tax is already deducted from my paycheck, from my earning. And with that money, I contribute to Roth IRA. So that is why Roth IRA, there is no penalty, there is no tax if we withdraw the principal. However, there are some restrictions if we want to withdraw the growth. If there is any growth, there is some restriction. But for the principal, there is no restrictions on that. Traditional IRA, this is also self-sponsored, but this one is pre-tax. And according to the rules, if we want to withdraw any money from it before the retirement age, which is 59 and a half, there will be 10% penalty, and tax also we have to pay depending upon which tax bracket we fall in. And then there is 401k, which is most common, and this is employer sponsored. Some amount the employee sponsored, some amount the employer sponsors, and depending upon the company can do one-on-one match, 1.5 match, or whatever the company policy is. Now, this is also pre-tax dollars are put in. That is why there is penalty and also tax if we withdraw it before 59 and half years of age. Now, as we see that we have access to these accounts, we have access to the money, even if not the whole money, part of the money we have access to. That is why all these accounts, money on those accounts are zakatable. We have to pay zakat on those. Now, there are some account types in specifically some other countries, in India or also in some of the Middle Eastern countries. There is some government-run account or retirement programs where the person does not have any access to the money at all, no access. So if we do not have any access to the money, there is no zakat. But there is one program I'll talk about, Indian Public Provident Fund. This is a program, Public Provident Fund, where the money is locked in for 10 years, 10 or 15 years, 10 to 15 years. And this is a voluntary program. And because it is a voluntary program, there will be zakat due on it, even if the money is locked. If the retirement account is not voluntary, like from my paycheck, some amount is always deducted every month, and this is government sponsored program, and because it is not voluntary and I have no access to the money, there will be no zakat. But as for the other ones I mentioned, Roth IRA, traditional IRA, 401k, even there is another called simple IRA. This is also employer based, but it is mostly for self-employed people. So all of these IRA, that the programs that are run in the United States, these programs, since we have access to the money or part of it, there has to be zakat due on those. Now, more specifically on 401k, because this is the most common type and the questions are asked on this, we'll go over those. So we assume that 401k account, whatever money we have, they're all invested in mutual funds. That's what happens mostly. Company has a portfolio where the employees will invest their money into that mutual fund, whatever mutual fund they have selected the company, the money is invested in those mutual funds. And also, as I mentioned, we have milkiya. Milkiya means ownership of the money, part owner of this money. I can still withdraw some money even if there is penalty. So then what's the ruling on zakat on those 401k accounts or 401k money that we have? So I'm going to mention three opinions that exist. Number one, the opinion one is that pay zakat on the whole amount. Whatever money I have, I see on my zakat due date, Ramadan 1 or whatever, that I have $100,000. Okay, pay zakat on it without any other due consideration. This is one opinion, but this is a minority opinion. This is also not strong, but this opinion still exists. Opinion two is that deduct the penalty and deduct the tax. Like if I have to withdraw today or on my zakat due date, like I'm not going to withdraw, but thinking that if I have to withdraw, how much money I'm going to get. So I know that there is a penalty, 10% penalty, because I have not reached 59 and a half yet. I have not reached that retirement age yet. So there will be 10% penalty. So I deduct that. Then I have to assume what tax bracket I'm going to fall in if I collect that money. Then I deduct that tax, and whatever amount is left, the zakat will be due on that amount. And this is the opinion of some other fiqh organizations, Fiqh Council of North America. This is the opinion from them, and also AMJA's official position, also like the AMJA is American Muslim Jurist Association. So Fiqh Council of North America and AMJA, they officially accept this opinion. And then there is third opinion, which is even more calculations. And this is going deep into it. And this is actually quite a strong opinion because of the understanding of how stocks work. What they say that not all of the stock is zakatable, as I mentioned in my previous lessons also, that not all of the stock that I have is zakatable, only a part of it. Specifically, the trade goods part of it is zakatable. Let's say urud tijara. So then on that trade goods part, there will be zakat. This stock also represent company buildings, equipments, machines, towers like AT&T towers. All of these things are included in the stock value. So then those are not zakatable. They are not trade goods. So then question comes, what percentage of that stock is zakatable? And this is a hard estimation to do, specifically if the invested amount is on mutual funds. There could be 50 stocks, 70 stocks in that portfolio. So it is difficult to calculate how much percentage. It is difficult to go through each and every balance sheet of the company. And so that is why it's kind of hard to calculate. But then experts, are asked this question. They say that about 1/3 is zakatable, specifically if it is mutual fund. If this is invested in only one stock or two stock, then instead of taking 1/3, it is better to find out how much percentage is zakatable for that company. If all of my stock is in Apple or all is in Microsoft, then it is easy to find by seeing the balance sheet and also asking some other experts how much is zakatable. If that is not possible, if I have a mutual fund of 50 stocks, then we can take the expert's opinion that 1/3 of it is zakatable. And this is the opinion of some of the scholars in AMJA and some scholars in UK with even a little bit different percent. Some of the scholars in UK say 25%. But the 33% is the opinion of our great sheikh in AMJA. His name is Dr. Hatem Al-Haj. He's a great sheikh. He has this opinion that 1/3 is zakatable. These are the three opinions, but opinion 2 and opinion 3, they are stronger. Opinion 2 actually more well known. Opinion 3 is less well known. However, my understanding is that opinion 3 is actually correct opinion. But nonetheless, we can choose opinion 2 or opinion 3, any of the two, inshallah ta'ala. But there are some other opinions also, which is actually not valid. I have put here as an invalid opinion. This is that no zakat due until you retire, or no zakat due until you actually collect the money, even if after retirement. Like if I retire at 60 years of age and I am not bothered about collecting the money, I just want it to grow, then this opinion, some of the opinions are that you do not pay until you get the money. But this is not valid because I have the milkiya, because I have the access to the money. Nobody can say that I don't have any access to the money. That is why these opinions are not valid. So opinion 2 or opinion 3 are the valid opinions that we should go by. And I have an example here. If we want to calculate the zakat on my 401k, let's say I have $100,000. Oh, 10 got missing. This will be 100,000. Sorry about that. Here, this will be one more zero here. One more zero here. 0, 0. Okay, so there is an example. Let's say you have $100,000 in 401k. So according to opinion 1, we just pay zakat on $100,000, which is 2,500. According to opinion 2, we deduct the penalty. 10% penalty is $10,000. So that becomes 90,000. Then we assume that we are falling into the tax bracket of 33%. So I deduct that tax. So then what is remaining is $60,000. So 90,000's 1/3 is 30. So 90 minus 30 is 60. And I pay zakat on that 60,000. So 2.5% of 60,000 becomes 1,500 rupees, dollars. And then the opinion 3 is further from that $60,000, we pay 1/3 of that $60,000, which is $20,000 is zakatable. So the zakat is 2.5% of $20,000, which is $500. So the suggestion is to go with either of opinion 2 or opinion 3. Now, opinion 2, why they say the whole thing you have to pay not 1/3 of it. Some of the scholars are saying that your mutual fund is actually whole thing is trade good because you intend to sell at some point. That is why they think that opinion 2 is valid. But we can, if we give, take opinion 2, we give more, which is alhamdulillah good too. But I would say both 2 and 3, both are good. Both are supported by the scholarly opinions. Okay, so that is about 401k. We'll have question answer inshallah, but let's go over this topic also. Zakat on debt. Zakat on debt. Now, debt means from the point of view of the creditors and also from the point of view of the debtors or the borrower. From the point of view of the creditors, those who lend the money, the lender. Lender sees the debt as two categories, either good debt or bad debt. Good debt means that I can easily retrieve the money. If I ask the borrower, give me the money, he has the money and he's solvent and he'll give me the money. I have access, easy, I can easily retrieve the money. So that is good debt. So for those good debt, when and how much to pay, this is where a lot of difference in opinion among the ulama and the four madhab have different opinions. So I put it here. According to Hanafi and Hanbali opinion, we collect the money and then pay for all the years that have passed. Collect the money. Let's say I have lent $5,000. 10 years have passed. So after 10 years, I collect the money. And for 10 years, I have to pay the zakat. I have to calculate, which will be basically 2.5 or 2.5%. Basically 0.975 to the power 10 times the money mathematically, because what is remaining is 0.975 times after 2.5% is 0.975. So the next step will be 0.975 times 0.975 times 0.975. So if it is 10 years, so 0.975 to the power 10 times the $5,000, whatever that is, which will be actually about 70% remaining. So the rest has to be paid as zakat. According to Shafi opinion, pay every year, even if you do not collect it. Shafi madhab wants to collect more money for the poor. So they say, give every year. Even if you have not collected it, give every year. According to Maliki opinion, you collect it and then give zakat for only 1 year because you did not have the money, just 1 year. So that is Maliki opinion. There is another opinion in Hanbali madhab, minority opinion, which is that you collect it and then you pay only after 1 year passes. Because Hanbali opinion, this opinion says that you did not have the money and you did not have the opportunity to grow the money. So when you collect it, you don't have to give it. Wait for 1 year, grow the money, whatever you want to grow. If you do not want to grow, that is your fault. But you have the opportunity to grow for 1 year, and then you pay zakat on that money. That is the minority report from Hanbali madhab. So that is about good debt, meaning that debt is good, meaning that I can collect the debt easily, not a problem. I know the money is there. It is, just that it is not in my hands. So that is the opinion about the good debt. How about a bad debt? If the debt is bad debt, meaning that the debtor is bankrupt, is insolvent, he cannot pay, I know, or he denies that I have given him money and I have no proof, I have no written record, nothing. He denies. It is difficult to prove. So this is a bad debt. I do not know whether I can get the money back. So then the opinions differ on this matter, when and how to pay and how much to pay. The Safi and Hanbali opinion is saying that after you collect it, pay for all the years. Now here Safi mother changed the opinion, not every year, because Safi opinion also thinks that yes, money, I do not know whether I'll get it back. So Imam Safi says, after you collect it, then you pay for all the years that passed. Hanafi mother is saying that after you collect it, pay only for only after one lunar year passes. Hanafi madhab is very lenient on the creditor. Once you collect it, then grow the money for one more year, and they pay on it, pay zakat on it. Maliki madhab is actually same position as the good debt. They are not the same thing. After collecting, pay for only 1 year. So these are the opinions, various opinions, and let me add an additional thing here, that in Islam, lending money is a charitable act as long as it does not involve interest or riba. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam has said that whosoever lends money to his brother 2 dinar, it is as if he has given away 1 dinar in charity. So 50% of the money that you lend to a Muslim brother who is in need without interest and without riba is a charitable act. Okay, now zakat on debt from the point of view of the debtor, how he would think. Now he has to think the debt in 2 different ways. One is the consumption debt or investment debt. And the consumption debt is like, when we buy necessities with that debt. Like I'm broke, completely broke. I don't have money to pay rent, or I don't have money to pay my medical bill, or student loan also. So these are the consumption debt, meaning that I borrow your money and I have paid my medical bill. Money is gone, it's not there with me. So in that case, I can deduct that debt from my zakatable wealth and then pay zakat on the rest of the money. I can deduct the debt. But then there are other type of debt called investment debt. This is where some of the questions may come, like taking a loan to buy a house, taking loan to buy a house. I mean, whether the loan is halal or haram, that is a different question. That's a fiqh of finance question. Even if it is haram loan, whatever loan it is, I mean, we're not talking about riba and all those, but I'm just talking about the loan. Let's say good loan. If I buy a house and I have a $500,000 loan or $1 million loan, can I deduct that $1 million from my zakatable wealth? This is where the scholars say no. This is investment loan, meaning that my money is used, the loan is used to buy the house. House exists. The house did not vanish. House exists. And this is from the point of view of zakat, it is as if, it's a lease, because these loans are paid on a monthly basis. We just pay the monthly basis, like also buying a factory equipment. If a company takes a loan of $10 million to buy factory equipment for his huge business, he cannot deduct that amount from his zakatable wealth. The question may come about the house loan. Can we deduct the house loan from my zakatable wealth? In this case, the creditor is not coming and knocking on my door to say, okay, give me, pay my loan, 1 million loan, pay my loan. No, there is a contract that every month you pay for 10 years, 15 years, 30 years. From the zakat point of view, it is as if you have leased the house. You're just paying monthly. So that monthly amount, whatever it is for the whole year, is deductible from the zakat. If it is monthly amount is say $2,000, and so for 1 year, $24,000. So I only can deduct $24,000 from my zakatable wealth. However, generally the money is paid on a monthly basis from my checking account. So if I just see how much checking account money I have, then that is enough, meaning that monthly installment is already being paid. I don't have to again further deduct. Zakat on locked-in money. There are situations now there could be some security deposits, like I rent a house and the house owner is asking for $5,000 zakat deposit. Now, this type of security deposit are locked in and I have no access to it. So since there is no access, even I do not know whether I'll get it back at the end of my rental terms. I do not know whether I'll get it back. So since I have no access to it, there is no zakat on it. And if I get the money back, then of course, after that, I have to pay zakat on it once I receive it. And if there is a locked-in account I created for a long-term investment, I myself created. It is not mandatory that I have to create, that nobody is forcing me. And because of the terms of that investment, it may be locked in for 10 years. In that case, zakat due on that. So locked-in money, if I have put it on my own, then I have to pay zakat on it. If locked-in money is not on my own, like security deposits as a requirement, then there is no zakat on those. Okay, now question answers.
Yeah, on rental property.
Yeah.
If you have a rental income
Mhm.
and a loan,
Mhm.
what would be the ruling on that?
So you add your rental income to your zakat. Add your rental income to your zakat and deduct your monthly installment from the zakat. So basically, your monthly installment minus the rent, whichever is bigger. Let's say rent is bigger. Okay, rent is bigger. Rent minus monthly installment is a positive amount. Add that to your zakatable asset.
Can we do that? Extrapolate that for the whole year. Like suppose my rental income is 2,000 and my rental income is 2,000 and my
monthly
EMI
payment
monthly is 1,000. So net profit I get 1,000.
Yes, yeah.
So in that case, I deduct 24,000 and add up 36 to 12,000.
Which is net 12,000.
12,000, yes.
Yeah, you can add. If you are paying zakat in advance, because if you do not pay zakat in advance, you know how much you have collected, how much you have spent. But if you want to pay zakat in advance, then you can extrapolate and estimate how much you're going to earn and how much you're going to spend on that house.
And part two of this question, in case of rental property, again, the landlord collects up the security deposit. But at the end of the year, he doesn't know whether he will also be. So this was from a tenant perspective.
Tenant
perspective. From a landlord perspective, we have to pay the zakat for that security deposit.
Yes, I was thinking about this question. There may be other opinions because again, creditors. But to my understanding that since he has the money, he has the full control of it. He actually deposits on his bank account, or he can also invest. Since he has all this milkiya, he has the opportunity to grow. Then he should pay zakat on it.
Yeah. One last question.
Sure.
For opinion 2 and 3, when you said on the initial slide, do opinion 2 and 3 align to any of the madhabs? Are they Shafi'i or any of those? No, these things are new because of these scholars are of course of various madhahib. Like Fiqh Council, for example, it's not madhab based. There are various scholars from various madhab. Amja, I know very well. Amja, there are all sorts of, there are Hanafi scholars, Hafiz scholars, Hanbali scholars also, the opinion that Amja placed. And this the Sheikh I mentioned, his name Dr. Hatem Alaj, he is actually a Hanbali scholar. He mentioned opinion 3. As for the UK scholar, I do not know what madhab they follow. Sometimes some of the scholars are of so high ranking that they don't even follow any particular madhab. They follow whatever is correct position because they have the ability to understand which is correct or which is not correct. So these opinions are not based on madhab. Yes.
So this is a general question regarding credits, and especially like a credit card. So let's say, for example, that every first of Ramadan is when a person specifically is paying his zakat, right?
Yeah.
And let's say that a few days before the first of Ramadan, which he normally pays his zakat, he makes a sizable purchase using his credit card.
Okay.
Maybe a few $1,000s, whatever. So, and for the actual payment of his credit card, that is after his zakat date.
Okay.
So when it comes to the cash he has in his checkings account, whatever amount that is, should he pay zakat minus the sizable purchase or including the already, because he still has the money in
Right.
his checking. So
Yeah, this is a
what
good
would be the
question.
ruling on that?
Yeah, this is a question on zakat on debt. That means you have a debt. You can deduct the debt.
Okay, you can deduct.
You deduct that. Because this is considered debt.
Okay.
So, yeah, you can deduct it.
Okay.
On opinion 2, right? You are opinion 3 basically.
Oh, three, yeah.
One. You're saying only 1/3.
The 1/3, yeah.
Understand more because you are actually any stock I own, it's fully tradable. At any point of time, I can sell it and get the full money back.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
In that case, shouldn't it be that actually means I have zakat on the total amount, but rather again, I don't get into all of that company, the equipment, right? Because I'm just a stockholder.
Yeah.
So why is the opinion? Yeah.
Opinion 3. Why is opinion 3? Now, opinion 2 has mentioned that these scholars think that this whole thing is zakat tradable. Opinion 3 is saying that no, it is a long-term investment. It is a long-term investment. You are not sure when you're going to sell. You are not actually intending to sell it now.
Okay.
You may sell it 20 years later, 30 years later, when you actually retire. You have no current plan to sell it. That is why it is as if you own a business, like in any business. And part of it, trade goods are only zakatable. That's why they opine that way. Yeah.
We can deduct 1/3 even if it's say a broad way mutual fund like S&P 500. Hypothetically. So we can just say we have invested in S&P, we just deduct 1/3 minus tax and
minus tax and then 1/3. Yeah. If it is one stock, that's what I meant. If it is one stock, then it is better to find out what should be the zakatable amount for one stock. It is easy to find than if there are 50 stocks. Last time I mentioned I actually was researching some of the companies, Apple to Google. Their current asset is in the range of 40-45%. Current assets. And current asset is cash equivalent, trade goods. And on that only there will be zakat, not even everything. So 40% or less. So you can take that from the balance sheet, okay, 40%. If it is one stock, Apple, just take 40% or 45%, whatever the balance sheet says there, whatever is the current asset. Current asset is, balance sheet will tell us how much is the current asset, total asset and current asset. So you can take that amount. Or if it is mutual fund, you can take 1/3. Or if you want to go give more, take opinion 2. Give zakat on whole amount. So, okay, I think there are some questions here in the chat. How do you know if it is good debt or until you collect it? How do you know if it is a good debt or not until you collect it? I think Imran is asking these questions. You can use the mic if you want to. I think your question is, how do you know it is a good debt? It's an estimate. You understand that the person has ability to pay me back. Person is not bankrupt. And all these factors, you just have a good feeling that this is a good debt. And if you are not feeling good about it, you don't know whether he's going to pay, he's able to pay me, then you can consider it as bad debt.
I think the next question probably adds more to it, right? So it would start as a good debt and probably halfway through it turns into bad debt. Maybe the person denies payments or like he doesn't want to pay or he goes bankrupt, right?
Yeah, then since there are many madhahib, whatever madhahib you follow, let's say you are following Safi madhahib, in which case you pay every year. The moment you think it's a bad debt, then stop paying zakat.
Okay.
But if it is Hanafi madhab or Maliki madhab, you don't have to worry about Maliki madhab specifically. No worry about good or bad debt. Only when you collect it, pay zakat. Okay, very simple. Get it, then pay it back. Pay the zakat.
Okay.
Zakaria, if good date turns bad before the duration of 1 has passed, do you have to follow the same school of thought or can you adopt a different scholar? If you're following one school, let's follow that school. Yes.
I'll clarify the question. So I enter into, let's say, a good debt, like a musharaka contract is beneficial to me. But then the partner starts defaulting on the payments. right? And
Yeah.
then I've, let's say, for example, followed the opinion of as is passing and paying, right? Option one. But then, and it goes to bad debt, and I start seeing that now I'm at a loss eventually in recovering the funds. I may be of a different opinion. So is that allowed, or you have to say, no, now that I started following this opinion, then I have to follow from that same, like Maliki or, Hanafi?
Yeah, some of the scholars say that if you're following one madhab, then keep following that instead of changing. And then Allah knows best, These are all understanding of how we deal with things. I would say go ahead and follow the same madhab. Okay, the other question, what should one do if in general they miscalculated zakat in previous years? For example, if they didn't properly include retirement accounts. Okay, if we have miscalculated, and if I have paid more, no worries, that will be taken as sadaqah. But if you have paid less, then I have to pay the difference because that is money for the poor. Also, what about property tax and homeowners insurance premiums that is mandated by the lender? We deduct all of those, property tax or homeowners insurances. But the first question, yeah, you can speak, Imran.
Yeah, sometimes you pay one extra amount, right? So sometimes you pay towards principal. Let's say you have few extra, little bit of extra money to pay towards principal. You want to, get out of the debt quickly, right?
Oh, I see. Okay.
So apart from paying the regular payment, monthly payments, maybe one or two extra payments sometimes you make. So can that be deducted?
Yes.
Because it's
yes, that can be deducted because you're basically reducing your burden. Yes, and the money is not with you. That's for sure you can deduct that.
okay. Jazakallah.
Oh, yeah. Hamdan is saying for investments in 401k, say zakat is due is 1500 as per the second calculation, and we don't have cash as per the previous comments. We note it down to pay it in the future when we can have the money. Then in the second year, do we calculate? A proper would be deduct the previous due amount because virtually you have paid already. So you can deduct that amount, whatever amount you otherwise would have paid as a zakat. Okay, crops and fruits. Okay, that's a new subject. I think we can then stop. I am running late. I thought I would cover this, but okay, I think that's fine. Since it is already 9 o'clock, I don't want to drag further. So that means I can take more questions. If there is any more questions you ask, more learning I get. Yeah. Okay, then I think we'll break here. Inshallah ta'ala. Jazakumullah khairan. May Allah guide us. May Allah give us knowledge and tawfiq. Ameen. Jazakumullah khairan. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.